Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here, coming at you with another Pokemon Pocket deck profile. Our first updated one? I think this is our first updated deck profile. This is my Mewtwo build for post-Mythical Island. So, a few new cards in the deck here. In addition to 2 Routes, 2 Curlier, 2 Gardevoir, 2 Mewtwo EX, 2 Pokeball, 2 Potion, 2 Professor's Research, and 1 Sabrina. Those are the 15 old cards. We're playing 5 new cards, 1 Mew EX, 2 Mythical Slab, and 2 Leaf. Now, you could also play 2 Mew EX, or even alongside 1 Mew EX, you could also play the supporter Budding Explorer as well, potentially. But I've chosen to simply include the Mew, Mythical Slabs, and Leafs. Mew is a very great addition to the deck. A lot of Mewtwo decks before were already using another basic attacker, either Jinx or non-EX Mewtwo a lot of the time, and Mew is definitely better than both of those. Mythical Slab offers a nice bit of a consistency buff to the deck, and Leaf is definitely just a better X speed here. Can retreat out the 2 retreat cost Mewtwo or Gardevoir for free. So, Mewtwo has definitely been one of the mainstays of the Pokemon meta. Even post-Mythical Islands is still one of the better decks out there. Gyarados EX has really been tearing the meta up there. Though. I meant to say though, but I guess there also works. We whiffed on the Slab, unfortunately, but not that big of a deal because we already have everything we need anyway. We have the Mew, we have the Mewtwo, and then we have Gardevoir about to be online as well. Now, the Mew has the Genome Hacking attack, which allows you to use one of your opponent's attacks as the, well, attack of Genome Hacking. You ignore the energy requirement, though, which is very nice. So, for Celebi, we actually have a very nice target for the Mew here. Powerful Bloom is a very powerful attack, as the name implies, and being able to use it will be nice. It's also nice that Powerful Bloom only counts each energy. If it counted Grass energy specifically, then the attack would do nothing for us here. But yeah, as you can see in this game in particular, I'm not even focusing on setting up the Mewtwo. I've already got this Mew online. It's like I can already attack with it, so why not? Alright, so we managed to land 3 heads here. Very spectacular, as we are going to be able to one-shot the Celebi with its own attack. That is very gross. Not even setting up our main strategy of Mewtwo yet, and we're already starting to KO their stuff left and right. And at this point, I could just keep dumping energies into the Mew in order to try to KO the Celebi here. Yeah, like I said, a Leaf, a very nice addition. The Mew only has a retreat cost of 1. You could still play X-Speed, but I don't think we play so many supporters that it's that big of a deal. Mewtwo is a very flexible deck to build. There's a lot of different ways you can build it. I know I said that Mew EX has essentially replaced the non-EX Mewtwo, but I have seen builds on the non-EX Mewtwo. You could definitely still just do that, too. Here I make a little bit of a misplay. I Psy Shadow onto the Mewtwo, and I really should have just done that onto this Mew instead. If I was going to retreat into it, but looks like that's not what we're doing here. We're just going to set up the Mewtwo anyway, and then, yeah, that was definitely a misplay on my part. This Mew should have had 5 energies on it instead of just 3. I guess my thought process here was that rather than relying on RNG to KO the Celebi in one shot, I wanted to set up the Mewtwo so that way if the Celebi KOs the Mew, then I can just KO the Celebi back with a side drive, right? And that's the thing about Celebi EX's Powerful Bloom is that it is a strong attack, but you are ultimately relying on RNG. Yeah, here our opponent's going to concede, as they are... I mean, even if they could knock out the Mew, I was going to say they're unable to. They are able to, actually, but even if they do knock it out by landing 2 heads there, we simply KO back with the Mewtwo. Yeah, Mew EX is a very, very flexible card. You actually see it in a lot of builds here. Ah, these were Emblem Event games. I had forgotten. Yeah, these games that I recorded were... well, they were recorded actually about a week, maybe a week and a half ago. And I'm only just getting now to, after my break for the holidays, recording again. So, yeah, the Emblem Event, I'm already done with it, though. But as you can see, these games are from the middle of the Emblem Event, so... Alright, let's see what we got for our next opponent here. So we dive on in. Well, I see what we have here. It's going to be another Celebi deck, but let's see how they open. Alright, so we're taking the first turn. We get to throw out our gold Mewtwo EX here. The only gold/crown, whatever you want to call it, card that I've got. But it's a pretty nice one to have. I think that, I don't know. I don't think the gold cards actually look terrible. I understand why some people don't like them, but I think the Mewtwo one in particular looks pretty good. I get nostalgic when I see them. They remind me of the Burger King gold Pokemon cards, but... Alright, so Professor's Research finds us the Mew. We already have the Ralts here. Basically just looking for the Curly at this point. We can get pretty much everything set up. Opponent led with Snivy, and not a lot else here. So, looks like they're going to Professor's Research to see if they can find something for the bench there. Ideally a Celebi, I imagine. Could also be on the Executor /Executor EX. A lot of the Celebi decks, especially as the meta has progressed, right? Because a lot of the initial builds, including mine, were pretty much just on the Snivy line plus Celebis, but now it's the norm to play Execute and some amount of Executors as well. Looks like our opponent did find a couple of full art Celebi EXs, very nice. Yeah, I've seen builds on Mythical Islands Executor, Genetic Apex Executor, and of course also Executor EX, that being the most common one, but yeah, Executors are pretty good, actually. All of them are, all three of them. Whiffing again on the slab, having to put another slab on the bottom there. Yeah, that's the thing, right? I don't think this build actually plays quite enough Pokemon to play 2 slab. I think I'd want at least half my deck to be Psychic Pokemon before I played 2 Mythical Slab. You could get away with 9, but I did whiff on it a lot, as you've been seeing here. It's not like I did it every time, but enough. Actually, we know our next draw is going to be the Slab, right? Because... oh, no, it's the Curly. So, yeah, it puts on the bottom. Never mind, never mind. Because I remember that we did get the Curly at this turn. I did actually remember that from this game, but I was trying to remember, like, how we did that. We just hardcore drew it there, so... I'm going to Psychic Sphere this Servine, see if I can't KO it. But there's no way they won't just retreat it, right? You, like, always retreat it here. It means giving up your Grass energy for the turn, but if you're going to evolve into a Superior this turn anyway, that doesn't really matter that much. It looks like that's probably just what's going to happen here. Erica. Okay. But do they have the evolution? They do. Okay, yep. Alright, that of course makes all Grass energy provide 2 each, which means the Celebi gets 4 coin flips. So we need 2 of these to be tails. Really need 2 of these to be tails. There's 1 heads, a tails, a heads, and a tails. Oh, that was close. But thankfully we only take 100 damage from this powerful bloom, meaning that we can survive and then KO the Celebi during our turn. I think I do want to end up using this potion on the Mewtwo here. It would make sense to go above 50 HP, that way we could survive, you know, one heads from a powerful bloom. Yeah, here we go. Alright, so we're going to go for the side drive here. That's going to get to one-shot the Celebi. And then now, this next Celebi, if it comes in, has to land 2 heads on 2 coins in order to actually KO the Mewtwo here. That is how you want to use Potion. I see a lot of people just throw out Potion for, like, really no reason. Like, from the very first time their Pokemon takes damage. Potion should be used to offset how many hits it'll take to KO your Pokemon, right? If your Pokemon will get 2-shot, but healing it with a Potion is the difference between it getting 2 or 3-shot, then that is definitely ideal. That's why Potion is actually so good. You might think a card that only heals 20 HP wouldn't be that good, but 1, it's the only heal item card in the game so far. But 2, even more than that. Again, healing, the amount you heal almost doesn't really matter. It's just the question is the amount that you heal enough to... I thought our video was paused there for a second. Is the amount you heal enough to actually, you know, let you live through an attack. That's what really matters here. So, very glad I used that potion, as the powerful bloom does 50, leaving me at 20. And it's pretty easy from here. We're just going to attach our energy for the turn, or the opponent can just concede. But yeah, energy for turn plus Gardevoir is enough to use Side Drive and KO their other Celebi, getting us our 3 points. So, another W against the grass deck there. That looks like that game was from a little bit earlier on. We are going to go into our last game here in just a moment. And that one I remember is going to be up against the Pikachu deck. Yes, it was the Pikachu deck. Okay, that's what I thought. Alright, going up against Pikachu here. Yeah, Pikachu, still one of the better decks of the meta alongside Mewtwo, but actually Gyarados has been performing about as well, if not slightly better than Pikachu lately, which is kind of wild. I'll say, I mean, when Gyarados, like when the Mythical Island set first dropped and I read all the X's, I kind of thought Gyarados was one of the worst ones. I thought it would take too much setup, but then Misty does exist, so. It's not a deck that's reliant on Misty, funnily enough, but Misty works enough of the time that it is a significant factor as to why... Not like a significant factor, but it is a notable factor as to why that deck can set up so easily. Alright, found a Mewtwo as our draw for turn here. I'm going to throw that down. Now, here's the thing. I actually have a bit of a decision to make between Professor's Research and Leaf. I decided Professor's Research because I figured my opponent probably couldn't KO the Ralts this turn anyway. But... Ooh, and we finally hit on the slab here, getting a Gardevoir. But I do want to eventually get this Ralts out of here, and I'll probably end up using a Leaf to do it, just to make sure I don't end up missing on an energy drop. Especially if I top deck Kirlia next turn, that's going to be very important. Because it's really easy to think like, oh, Ralts only has a retreat cost of 1. Instead of using Leaf, which reduces by 2, I'll just attach an energy. But the energy being attached is far more valuable than Leaf, of which we have 2 copies in hand here. So, even if we only had 1 copy, the energy attachment would very likely still be more valuable. Alright, there's the Pikachu. And what else do they have? Okay, let's go attach an energy to Zapdos and hit Ralts with a Peck. That's fine. Don't care about 20 damage for a Pokemon that's not going to stay on the board anyway. No Kirlia. We did get a potion, but I'm really not... I don't think I'm really trying to use the potion at all here. Yeah, I can't really think of a scenario in which it would really make a huge difference. So I'm not going to bother using it. I'm just going to retreat out the Ralts, which I was going to do anyway. Attach another energy to Mewtwo, and we can start Psychic Sphering this Zapdos. Let's see. We'll have to see if our opponent decides to build up the Pikachu or continue putting energy on the Zapdos. I hope they keep putting energy on the Zapdos, because... I mean, we've already hit it for 50. It's already, like, not on its way out, but you know what I mean. Getting there. Okay, looks like they are committing to the Zapdos here. See, this is a potion that doesn't really do anything, right? This potion, unless it was paired with a second one, doesn't let, it doesn't let this Zapdos survive any longer than it normally would, right? Because ignoring Side Drive, even if I'm just using Psychic Spheres, at 80 HP it would take 2 Psychic Spheres to KO the Zapdos. But the potion healing to 100 doesn't change that. It's still only 2 Psychic Spheres to KO the Zapdos there. So, I mean, yeah, like I said, it's just... the potion... You really got to be smart about how you use it. You really got to think not in terms of, is my Pokemon at high or low HP, but how many attacks can my Pokemon take, right? We can use our other copy of Leaf to bring back in the Mewtwo I've been putting energy on. Really hoping they don't have a second Sabrina, but I would be a little surprised if they did. Sabrina, I've noticed, has gone down to being a one-of in a lot of decks that she's in, which makes sense. Sabrina's kind of like... She's a good card, but is kind of situationally good sometimes. There are some boards where the Sabrina just doesn't do anything. Because your opponent has, like, something that... Because your opponent's always going to get to control what goes in, and sometimes your opponent has an equally or even bigger threat on the bench than what's active, right? So... Alright, let's see. They're using the Thunderstorm from the Zapdos here, and oh, that's rough. They only hit 1 heads me, I'm only going to get smacked for 50 HP here, so... Yeah, now I have enough energy to... Oh, they concede here. I forgot about that. So yeah, I can just KO the Zapdos here, the Psychic Sphere, and then on the next turn I could just potentially side drive whatever follows up. But there you go. There are some games with our updated Mewtwo build. So hope you all really enjoyed those. Thanks as always for watching. Sub if you want to see more Pokemon Pocket content. There is more on the way. But for now, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off. This is XLX signing out, hoping that you have a fantastic day.